Your soul is worth more than any possession, more than any achievement. It's priceless beyond measure. In a world that constantly tries to tell you who you should be, what you should want, and how you should live, remember this: your soul is sacred. No mistake is bigger than your worth. No failure can erase what God has given you. When the noise gets loud, when the world weighs heavy on your heart, hear this truth: your soul is worth fighting for. You are not defined by your past, your failures, or the opinions of others. You are defined by the love that created you, the hope that sustains you, and the future waiting for you. Never forget your soul is worth everything. Thanks for watching. If this message touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiration. Remember, you matter. You are loved. When we talk about worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring it by what we have or what we achieve. Society often tells us that our value depends on the things we own, the titles we hold, or the success we manage to reach. But this way of thinking misses something profoundly true: your soul is priceless. It cannot be measured by any material possession or external achievement. It is beyond all worldly measures, and beyond the reach of any standard that tries to define human value by superficial means. Think about it for a moment. What are the things we usually associate with worth? A fancy car, a big house, a high-paying job, a large bank account, the approval of others, or a prestigious title. These things might give a temporary sense of importance or pride, but they are all temporary and fragile. They can be lost in an instant, and they don't reflect who you truly are at your core. Your soul, however, is eternal. It is the essence of your being, the very foundation of who you are. Unlike material things, it cannot be taken away, diminished, or destroyed by circumstances. Many people spend their lives chasing after achievements or possessions in an attempt to prove their value. They believe that if they can just get that promotion, buy that house, or gain the respect of others, then they will finally feel worthy. But that kind of worth is built on shifting sand. It's fragile because it depends on things outside of yourself. What happens if those things vanish? What happens if the promotion doesn't come, the house is lost, or people's opinions change? The worth tied to those things falls apart, leaving emptiness behind. Your soul, on the other hand, holds a value that no one can take away. It doesn't depend on what you have or what you've done. It is intrinsically valuable simply because you exist. This is a truth that transcends religion, culture, and time. Many spiritual traditions and philosophies agree that every human soul carries an inherent dignity and worth that cannot be earned or lost. It is given simply by the fact that you are alive, breathing, feeling, and thinking. This value is not based on performance or approval, but on existence itself. This pricelessness means that no one can look at you and say you are less because of your failures, your struggles, or your circumstances. Your worth is not lessened by mistakes you have made or by the opinions of those around you. Even when you feel broken, unworthy, or overlooked, your soul remains precious. The light of your being shines on regardless of the darkness you might face externally. This is a powerful reminder that the deepest part of you is untouchable by criticism or loss. Understanding this can bring a deep sense of peace. When you realize that your soul's worth is beyond measure, you stop comparing yourself to others and stop letting external achievements define you. You begin to see yourself through a different lens, one that honors your true value. This mindset can transform how you live. You start making choices based not on fear of not being good enough, but on the truth of your inherent worth. In a practical sense, this means you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to chase approval or validation, because the most important approval, your soul's approval, is already given. This frees you from the exhausting pressure to perform constantly and to seek acceptance from others. Instead, you can focus on growth, kindness, and purpose without being weighed down by insecurity. It also means you treat yourself with greater compassion. When you understand the priceless nature of your soul, you realize that self-criticism and harsh judgment are misplaced. You are not a collection of flaws or failures, but a whole person with immeasurable value. This awareness helps you forgive yourself and extend grace to yourself, just as you would to someone you deeply care about. This perspective also impacts how you relate to others. When you recognize that every person you meet carries a soul that is just as priceless as your own, it changes how you treat them. You become more patient, understanding, and respectful because you see beyond the surface and honor their intrinsic worth. This creates deeper connections and fosters a more compassionate world. Your soul's value is not tied to what you do, but to who you are. It cannot be bought, sold, or traded. No one can give you worth, and no one can take it away. It is a constant, unchanging truth that remains, even in the darkest times. So when you feel tempted to measure your worth by what you have or what you achieve, remember this: your soul is priceless. It is beyond all earthly measures and shines with a value that no one can ever diminish. That truth is your foundation, your anchor, and your guide. Hold on to it, live it, and let it remind you every day that you are deeply, wonderfully, and eternally worth more than you can imagine. Life is full of moments when we feel like we have failed. We all make mistakes, sometimes big ones that leave us feeling lost, ashamed, or unworthy. It's natural to judge ourselves harshly when things don't go as planned, or when we fall short of the expectations we or others have set. But no matter what mistakes you have made or failures you have experienced, they do not, and cannot, diminish the value of your soul. Your soul is the deepest, most essential part of who you are. It is not defined by your actions or by the outcomes of your decisions. It is not limited by the errors you've made or the regrets you carry. In fact, the very nature of your soul is beyond mistakes and failures. While you may stumble, falter, or even fall, your soul remains whole, intact, and valuable beyond measure. When you think about failure, it's easy to get caught up in feelings of guilt or shame. You might replay moments in your mind, wishing you could undo what has been done. You might believe that because you made a mistake, you are somehow less worthy or less deserving of love and respect. But that belief is false. Mistakes and failures are part of the human experience. They do not strip away your inherent value. Your soul is not a reflection of your perfect performance. It is the foundation of your existence that stands firm regardless of circumstances. It's important to recognize that failure itself can be a teacher. While it may feel painful in the moment, failure often leads to growth, understanding, and transformation. When you embrace your mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than as proof of your unworthiness, you begin to see your soul's resilience and strength. This resilience is a sign that your soul is not fragile or breakable. It is strong enough to endure hardship, to heal, and to rise again. Many spiritual and philosophical traditions affirm that your soul's value is unconditional. It is not based on merit or achievement, but on existence itself. This means that even when you feel like you have lost your way, your soul remains precious. This truth brings hope to those who feel weighed down by regret or self-condemnation. It means there is always a chance to start anew because your worth is never erased by past mistakes. You might be wondering how to live with this truth when your past feels heavy. The key is to separate your identity from your actions. Your actions are things you do. They can be changed, improved, or corrected. Your identity, rooted in your soul, is who you are at the core. When you confuse the two, you risk defining yourself by your worst moments instead of your true nature. Forgiveness plays a crucial role here. Not just forgiveness from others, but forgiveness toward yourself. When you accept that your soul is valuable despite mistakes, you can begin to release the burden of guilt. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean excusing the mistakes or ignoring their consequences. It means recognizing that you are human, worthy of compassion, and capable of moving forward. This act of self-forgiveness restores your sense of dignity and allows your soul to heal. It is also important to remember that mistakes do not have the power to separate you from love, whether divine love, the love of family and friends, or the love you owe yourself. That love remains constant and unconditional. When you accept that love, you reclaim your soul's worth and break free from the chains of shame. When you understand that your soul's value is untouchable by failure, it changes how you approach life's challenges. Instead of fearing mistakes, you learn to face them with courage and humility. Instead of hiding your failures, you become willing to be vulnerable and honest. This openness leads to deeper relationships and a more authentic life because you no longer have to wear a mask of perfection. Your soul's worth is a powerful foundation for resilience. It reminds you that no matter how many times you fall, you can always rise again. It inspires hope in moments of despair and courage in times of doubt. This perspective is liberating because it frees you from the impossible demand of perfection and invites you to embrace your humanity fully. In practical terms, living with this truth means giving yourself grace when you fail. It means acknowledging your mistakes without letting them define you. It means choosing growth over guilt and healing over shame. It means trusting that your soul's worth remains untouched, even when your life feels messy or uncertain. You are not your failures. You are not the mistakes you have made. You are a soul with infinite value, deserving of love, forgiveness, and respect. This is not just a hopeful idea. It is a fundamental truth that can change how you see yourself and your life. So, whenever you face the pain of failure or the weight of regret, remind yourself that your soul remains whole and precious. No mistake, no failure, no wrong choice can take away your worth. You are more than your past. You are worthy simply because you are. This truth is your strength, your hope, and your light. The world around us is constantly sending messages about who we should be and what we should value. From a young age, we are bombarded with expectations, comparisons, and judgment. Society, culture, media, and even the people closest to us often try to define us by our looks, our achievements, our status, or our mistakes. These external voices can become so loud that they drown out the quiet, true voice inside us. It is easy to lose sight of who we really are beneath all the noise and pressure. But here is an unshakable truth. Your true worth does not come from what the world says about you. It is not found in the opinions, accolades, or criticisms that others heap upon you. Your worth comes from a place far deeper and more profound, the love that created you. This love is the foundation of your existence, the source of your identity, and the reason you are valuable beyond measure. When we talk about the love that created you, we are speaking of a love that is unconditional, infinite, and unchanging. It is not the kind of love that depends on what you do or how you perform. It does not say, "I will love you only if you succeed," or "you are worthy only if you meet certain standards." Instead, this love is constant and steadfast. It is a love that existed before you were born and will continue long after the world's definitions have faded away. Understanding that your worth is rooted in this love changes everything. It means that no matter what you have been told or what you have believed about yourself, there is a truth that cannot be taken away. You are deeply and unconditionally loved. This love sees past flaws, failures, and imperfections. It embraces your whole being and affirms your value simply because you are. The world may try to define you by your past mistakes, your social status, your wealth, or your appearance, but none of those things hold the power to determine your worth. They are temporary and often misleading measures. The love that created you is permanent and truthful. It reflects your soul's true nature, beautiful, valuable, and worthy of respect and dignity. This love invites you to see yourself through a different lens. Instead of constantly seeking approval from others or striving to fit into a mold that society has set, you can find peace in knowing that you are loved as you are. This doesn't mean you stop growing or improving, but it does mean you no longer have to earn your worth by achievements or external validation. When you live with the awareness that your worth is rooted in love, you begin to treat yourself differently. You become gentler and more compassionate with yourself. You forgive your mistakes more easily because you recognize that your value is not tied to perfection. This love also empowers you to set healthy boundaries, say no when necessary, and choose relationships and environments that honor your dignity. Moreover, this love shapes how you relate to others. When you know you are loved unconditionally, you become more capable of loving others in the same way. You begin to see beyond the surface, beyond their mistakes and shortcomings, and recognize the inherent worth in every person. This fosters empathy, kindness, and understanding in your relationships, making them richer and more meaningful. The world's definitions are often based on fear, competition, and comparison. They encourage you to measure yourself against others, to prove your worth, and to win approval. But the love that created you calls you to a higher truth. It invites you to rest in the knowledge that you are already enough, already worthy, and already loved deeply. This understanding can be especially powerful during times of struggle or doubt. When life feels overwhelming or when you face rejection, criticism, or failure, remember that your worth does not diminish. The love that created you remains steadfast. It is a light that shines through the darkest moments, reminding you of who you truly are. Living in this truth also brings freedom. Freedom from the need to conform to others' expectations, freedom from the pressure to prove yourself, and freedom from the fear of not being good enough. When your worth is anchored in love, you no longer have to live in fear of losing acceptance or approval. You can live boldly, authentically, and with courage. It is important to remind yourself daily that your true worth comes from the love that created you. When you start your day with this truth in your heart, it influences every decision you make and every step you take. You begin to see yourself as valuable beyond measure, worthy of kindness and deserving of all good things. The love that created you is the foundation of your identity. It is the unchanging truth that no one and nothing can erase. When you embrace this love, you reclaim your power, your dignity, and your peace. So, the next time you hear the world's voice telling you who you should be or how you should act, remember the deeper truth. Your worth is not up for debate or negotiation. It is given unconditionally by a love that created you and holds you forever. Life is not always easy. There are days when the weight of the world seems too heavy to bear. Challenges, disappointments, and pain can press down on your heart, making it hard to see a way forward. During these difficult times, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, defeated, or even ready to give up. But in those moments, it's important to remember one crucial truth. Your soul is worth fighting for. Your soul is the core of who you are, your essence, your inner light, the part of you that holds your deepest hopes, dreams, and desires. It is the seat of your true self, the place where your strength and resilience reside. When life feels heavy and everything around you seems to be crumbling, that inner core is what keeps you anchored. It is worth every ounce of your effort, every bit of your courage, and every moment of your perseverance. Fighting for your soul does not mean ignoring pain or pretending that everything is okay. It means acknowledging your struggles honestly while choosing to hold on to hope. It means refusing to let despair define you or defeat your spirit. When you fight for your soul, you are making a decision to believe in yourself, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. You are choosing to protect the sacred part of you that no one can take away. There will be times when the burdens feel unbearable. You might face loss, rejection, failure, or loneliness. You might wrestle with fear, doubt, or discouragement. These feelings are real and valid, but they do not have the final say. Your soul's worth is greater than any hardship you encounter. It is the light that can guide you through the darkest nights and the stormiest seas. Remembering that your soul is worth fighting for means finding strength in the small victories. It means celebrating every step forward, no matter how small, and giving yourself credit for every day you choose to keep going. It is about resilience, the quiet, steady refusal to be defeated by life's trials. Resilience is not about never falling. It is about rising again, time and time again, with the knowledge that your soul is precious and worth defending. This fight is not a solo battle. There are people who care about you, whether family, friends, mentors, or even strangers who can offer support and encouragement. Reaching out for help is a courageous act that honors your soul's worth. It shows that you believe in yourself enough to seek the strength you need. You are not alone in this journey, and sometimes allowing others to walk with you lightens the load and renews your spirit. Fighting for your soul also means nurturing yourself with kindness and patience. When life is hard, it's easy to become your own harshest critic. You might blame yourself or feel unworthy of compassion. But your soul deserves love and care. Take time to rest when you need to. Speak to yourself with gentleness. Treat yourself as you would treat someone you love dearly. This self-care is not selfish. It is an essential part of preserving your soul's strength. Another vital part of this fight is holding on to hope. Hope is the belief that things can get better, that light exists even in darkness, and that your life has meaning and purpose beyond the immediate pain. Hope fuels your soul's endurance. It reminds you that suffering is not the end of the story and that new beginnings are always possible. Faith, whatever form it may take for you, can be a powerful source of hope and strength. Believing that there is a greater plan or a higher power watching over you can bring comfort when you feel lost. It can help you see your struggles not as meaningless, but as part of a larger journey toward healing and growth. This perspective can give you the courage to keep fighting when your own strength feels depleted. Your soul is also worth fighting for because it holds your unique gifts and purpose. You were created to contribute something special to this world, something that only you can offer. When you give up on yourself, the world loses that gift. When you fight for your soul, you are honoring the potential within you, the talents, passions, and dreams that make you who you are. You are choosing to live fully, to shine your light, and to make a difference. Sometimes fighting for your soul means setting boundaries and making difficult choices. It means saying no to things that drain you or harm your spirit. It means protecting your peace by distancing yourself from toxic people or environments. These acts of self-preservation are a powerful declaration that your soul matters and deserves respect. It is important to remind yourself daily that your soul is precious and worth the fight. This reminder can come through prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply speaking affirmations out loud. Words have power, and when you affirm your worth regularly, you strengthen your resolve to keep going despite challenges. When you commit to fighting for your soul, you become a warrior of hope and resilience. You stand firm against despair and refuse to let life's difficulties define your identity. You embrace the truth that you are valuable, capable, and deserving of joy and peace. So, when life feels heavy and you want to give up, remember this: your soul is worth fighting for. Hold on to that truth with everything you have. Let it inspire you to rise, to keep moving forward, and to never lose sight of the beautiful, strong, and precious person you are at your core. One of the greatest challenges we face in life is the constant influence of others' opinions and judgments. Whether it comes from family, friends, colleagues, strangers, or society at large, we are often subjected to criticism, praise, or indifference that can deeply affect how we see ourselves. It's natural to want to be accepted and valued by those around us, but when we place too much weight on others' opinions, it becomes easy to lose sight of our true worth. The truth is, your soul's worth is not diminished by what others think of you. No matter the judgment, your value remains intact and unshakable. People will always have opinions, some kind, some harsh, some misguided. Sometimes their judgments are shaped by their own fears, insecurities, or misunderstandings, not by any true reflection of who you are. When you let these opinions dictate how you feel about yourself, you hand over your power to others. You allow their limited perspectives to shape the infinite worth of your soul. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and even despair, but none of those feelings change the reality of your value. It's important to remember that your soul is not a thing that can be measured or judged by human standards. It is a divine, eternal part of you that holds your deepest identity and purpose. No criticism or praise from the outside world can add to or subtract from this inherent worth. It exists independently of external approval or rejection. When you realize that your soul's worth is independent of others' opinions, you begin to experience freedom. You no longer live by the shifting standards of the crowd, or by the fleeting approval of people who may not truly understand you. This freedom allows you to be your authentic self, without the need to hide parts of you to please others or to fit into expectations that don't resonate with your true nature. This doesn't mean you should ignore all feedback or refuse to grow. Constructive criticism, offered with kindness and respect, can help you improve and become a better version of yourself. But even then, it's essential to separate the feedback from your identity. Your worth is not tied to your performance or how well you meet others' standards. It is tied to your very existence. One of the most damaging effects of letting others' judgments define you is that it fosters a constant state of comparison. You start measuring yourself against other people's successes, appearances, or lifestyles, often feeling that you come up short. This comparison steals joy and confidence. It's a trap that keeps you chasing an impossible ideal and forgetting the unique beauty and value you already possess. Your soul's worth is unique and incomparable. Just as no two souls are the same, your value cannot be ranked or weighed against another's. Trying to do so is like trying to compare the vastness of the ocean to the endlessness of the sky. Both are vast and magnificent in their own right. When you embrace your uniqueness, you no longer feel pressured to conform or compete. You stand firm in the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are. The opinions of others often come from a place of limited understanding. People see only parts of you, sometimes only what you choose to show, sometimes what they assume without truly knowing you. They don't see the full story of your journey, your struggles, your growth, and your heart. Their judgments reflect their own perspectives, biases, and experiences, not your true essence. It's also helpful to consider that sometimes harsh judgments or criticisms say more about the person giving them than about you. When someone projects negativity onto you, it can be a sign of their own pain or insecurity. Recognizing this helps you not take their words personally and protects your soul's worth from being damaged by unfair or unfounded opinions. When you hold on to the truth that your soul's worth is untouched by outside judgment, you cultivate inner peace. You become less reactive to criticism and less dependent on praise. Your self-esteem comes from within, from a place of deep knowing and acceptance. This inner confidence shines outward, attracting healthy relationships and opportunities that honor who you are. Living with this awareness also invites you to be more compassionate toward others. When you understand how damaging judgments can be, you become more patient and forgiving toward the flaws and mistakes of those around you. You learn to see beyond surface behaviors and appreciate the intrinsic worth in every person, just as you have come to appreciate your own. It's important to practice reinforcing this truth regularly. Affirmations, meditation, journaling, or quiet reflection can help you internalize the fact that your soul's worth is constant and unaffected by external voices. When you encounter criticism or negative opinions, remind yourself that these do not define you. You are more than what anyone says or thinks. Remember that even people who seem to have it all together struggle with the same issues. Everyone faces doubts about their worth at times. You are not alone in this journey, and the truth of your soul's worth is a source of comfort and strength for many. Ultimately, your soul's worth is a gift, not a prize to be earned or lost. It is a light within you that cannot be dimmed by others' opinions. This worth is the foundation for a life lived with courage, authenticity, and joy. So, no matter what judgments you face, hold fast to the truth that your soul remains valuable, precious, and whole. Let that truth be your anchor in the storm of opinions. Your worth is eternal and beyond measure. Embracing your worth is one of the most powerful and transformative acts you can undertake in your life. It means recognizing, accepting, and fully owning the truth that your soul's value is infinite. When you embrace this truth, it changes how you see yourself and how you move through the world. Living boldly becomes not just an option, but a natural expression of the deep knowing that you are worthy beyond measure. To embrace your worth is to say yes to yourself in a profound way. It is to acknowledge that you deserve love, respect, happiness, and fulfillment, not because of what you have done or what you might do, but simply because you exist. This acceptance is liberating. It frees you from the chains of self, doubt, fear, and insecurity that can hold you back. When you truly believe in your infinite worth, you step into your life with confidence and courage. Living boldly means stepping out of the shadows of fear and hesitation. It means pursuing your dreams with passion and determination, even when the path is uncertain. It means speaking your truth, setting boundaries, and standing up for yourself. Bold living is about authenticity, being who you really are without apology or pretense. It is the natural outcome of embracing your worth, because when you know your value, you no longer need to shrink or hide. Too often, people live small lives, limited by doubts and fears about whether they are good enough. They settle for less than they deserve, avoiding risks and opportunities out of concern for failure or rejection. But when you embrace your infinite worth, you understand that these fears do not define you. They are simply feelings, temporary and manageable. Your soul's value remains untouched by setbacks or criticism. This mindset encourages resilience. When you know your worth, setbacks become lessons, not reasons to give up. Challenges become opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. You develop the courage to keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. This resilience is a mark of bold living. It shows that you are committed to honoring your soul by refusing to let circumstances dictate your destiny. Embracing your worth also means caring for yourself with kindness and respect. It involves recognizing your needs and giving yourself permission to meet them. Self-care is not selfish, it is a necessary part of honoring your infinite value. When you nurture your mind, body, and spirit, you build the strength to live boldly. You create a foundation of well-being that supports your dreams and ambitions. Living boldly requires trusting yourself, trusting that your intuition, your inner voice, knows what is best for you. When you embrace your worth, you become more attuned to that inner guidance. You listen to your heart and take actions aligned with your deepest values. This trust allows you to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and confidence. Bold living also impacts your relationships. When you know your infinite worth, you attract people who respect and appreciate you. You no longer tolerate toxic relationships or situations that diminish your value. Instead, you surround yourself with those who encourage your growth and celebrate your uniqueness. This creates a supportive environment where you can thrive and continue to live boldly. Your soul's infinite value invites you to dream big. It calls you to imagine a life filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. When you embrace your worth, you give yourself permission to pursue those dreams fearlessly. You stop limiting yourself with doubts about what is possible and start believing in your capacity to achieve greatness. This belief is contagious. When you live boldly, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon of hope and possibility. You show that it is possible to live authentically and fully, no matter the challenges. This ripple effect can change not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Embracing your infinite worth also means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and shortcomings. It means understanding that your value is not dependent on perfection. Everyone stumbles and falls, but these moments do not define your soul. Your worth remains whole and complete, ready for you to step forward with renewed strength. In practical terms, embracing your worth might mean taking steps that feel risky or uncomfortable at first, such as pursuing a new career, ending unhealthy relationships, or expressing your true feelings. These actions require courage, but they are acts of faith in your soul's infinite value. They are declarations that you matter and that your life is worth living fully. The world needs people who live boldly. People who bring their full selves to every situation, who share their gifts, and who stand up for what they believe in. When you embrace your worth and live boldly, you contribute to making the world a better place. Your light shines brighter, illuminating paths for others to follow. This journey of embracing worth and bold living is ongoing. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when fear whispers lies, and when challenges test your resolve. In those moments, return to the truth of your infinite value. Remind yourself that your soul is precious beyond measure and that you have everything you need within you to keep going. Living boldly is not about being fearless. It is about acting in spite of fear. It is about knowing your worth so deeply that fear no longer has the power to stop you. It is about living a life that reflects the fullness of your being, your talents, your passions, and your dreams. So choose today to embrace your worth. Choose to live boldly. Step into the fullness of who you are with courage and confidence. Your soul's value is infinite, and your life is meant to be lived as a powerful testament to that truth. Throughout life's journey, we often find ourselves wrestling with questions about our value and purpose. We face moments of doubt and fear, times when the weight of the world seems too heavy and the road ahead unclear. Yet at the core of every human being lies an unchanging truth that surpasses circumstances, opinions, and even our own uncertainties. Your soul is infinitely valuable. This truth stands firm regardless of the challenges you face or the judgments you encounter. It is the foundation upon which you can build a life of meaning, courage, and resilience. Understanding the worth of your soul begins with realizing that it is not something to be earned or lost. It is an inherent part of you, a divine spark that cannot be diminished by failure, rejection, or pain. This eternal value transcends the fleeting moments of success or defeat. When you grasp this, you begin to see yourself through a different lens, a lens of grace, dignity, and unconditional love. You come to understand that your worth does not depend on external validation, but rests securely in the essence of who you are. This realization invites you to fight for your soul when life feels heavy. It is in the darkest and most difficult moments that the truth of your soul's worth becomes most vital. When despair threatens to overwhelm you, remembering that your soul is worth fighting for can be the light that guides you through the darkness. It encourages resilience, urging you to rise again after every fall, to keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain. This fight is not about denying pain, but about embracing hope and holding onto the promise that better days lie ahead. Importantly, this fight for your soul is not meant to be waged alone. There are companions along the way, friends, family, mentors, and sometimes strangers, who remind you of your value when you forget it yourself. Allowing others to walk beside you does not diminish your worth. Instead, it affirms that your journey is sacred and that you deserve support and kindness. Reaching out, seeking help, and sharing your burdens are acts of strength, not weakness. They reinforce the truth that your soul matters deeply and that you are not alone. Equally crucial is the understanding that your soul's worth is not diminished by the opinions or judgments of others. The world is full of voices, some loving, some critical, some indifferent, but none hold the ultimate authority over your value. People's opinions are shaped by their own experiences and limitations. They see only fragments of your story. When you let go of the need for approval and release the burden of judgment, you reclaim your power. You free yourself to live authentically, without the chains of comparison or the fear of rejection. This freedom to be yourself is essential to living boldly. When you embrace your worth fully, boldness becomes natural. Bold living means pursuing your dreams, speaking your truth, and standing firm in your convictions, regardless of obstacles or naysayers. It means honoring your unique gifts and recognizing that you are created to contribute something valuable to the world. When you live boldly, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of courage and authenticity. To live boldly, however, also requires self-compassion and patience. Embracing your infinite worth means treating yourself with the kindness and respect you deserve. It means nurturing your mind, body, and spirit, recognizing that self-care is essential to sustaining the courage needed for this journey. It means forgiving yourself for mistakes and letting go of the impossible standards of perfection. Your soul's value is not contingent on your achievements, but rests in your very being. Trusting yourself is another cornerstone of embracing your worth. When you cultivate trust in your intuition and inner guidance, you navigate life with greater confidence and clarity. This trust allows you to make decisions aligned with your true self, even when the path is uncertain or challenging. It gives you the strength to set boundaries and choose environments and relationships that honor your value. Living in alignment with your soul's worth fosters peace and fulfillment. Moreover, embracing your worth encourages you to dream without limits. Your soul's infinite value means that no aspiration is too big and no goal too distant. You are worthy of happiness, success, love, and purpose. When you believe this deeply, you shed the fears that hold you back and step into a life of passion and intention. Each step forward, no matter how small, is an act of faith in your own worthiness. The journey to fully embracing your soul's worth is ongoing. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when external pressures threaten to shake your confidence, and when pain tries to convince you otherwise. But each time you return to the truth of your infinite value, you grow stronger. You learn to stand firm in the face of adversity, knowing that your worth cannot be taken away. This resilience is a testament to the power of the soul and the strength that comes from living grounded in that truth. In embracing your worth and living boldly, you do more than transform your own life, you impact the world around you. Your courage, authenticity, and compassion become a beacon for others who struggle to see their own value. Your life becomes a testament to the power of hope and the importance of fighting for what truly matters. You remind others that they too are precious and deserving of a full and meaningful life. Ultimately, the message is simple yet profound. Your soul is priceless, and your life has infinite value. No circumstance, no opinion, no failure can reduce the light within you. This truth calls you to live fully, to embrace yourself with all your imperfections and strengths, and to step into your purpose with courage and joy. It calls you to love yourself fiercely, and to extend that love to others, recognizing the divine worth in every human soul. So, as you move forward, carry this truth close to your heart. Let it be the foundation of your days and the guiding star of your nights. When challenges come, and they will, remember that your soul's worth is greater than any difficulty. When you face judgment or criticism, recall that these do not define you. When fear whispers that you are not enough, respond with the roar of your infinite value. Live boldly, love deeply, and fight for your soul with all the strength you possess. Your worth is eternal, your purpose profound, and your life a precious gift. In this knowing, find peace, find courage, and above all, find the freedom to be truly and beautifully you.